Good morning, everyone. Please join fast. Okay. শুভ নববর্ষ সবাইকে। Okay, so in our today's class we will be continuing with our chapter number 8, that is the cell structure and function. So I hope that everybody, you all remembered that what I have taught you in my previous classes. Shubho Noboborsho. Okay, so we will be discussing the last portion of our chapter, that is the nucleus, the structure and function of nucleus, and the difference between the animal and plant cell. Please mute your microphones so that you all will be able to hear what I am telling you. Okay, everybody please mute your microphones. Thank you. Now, we all know that I have told you in my previous class that nucleus is the brain of, also known as the brain of the cell, as it controls all the cellular activities of the cell. Now, in for the structure of the nucleus, that I have told you that nucleus has a spherical body, and the cellular membrane or the nuclear membrane of the nucleus is also possesses some pore-like structures, right? So the nuclear membrane is a porous structure, and the outer portion of the nucleus is the cytoplasm. Sorry, the chalk is producing some kind of sound which is totally unwanted. Okay, so the outer portion of the cytoplasm, outer portion of the nucleus is the cytoplasm, and the inner portion of the nucleus is the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is the liquid portion of the cell, of the nucleus. Okay, so the nucleoplasm, in other than the nucleoplasm, there are some fiber or some thread-like structures present within this nucleus structures, and these thread-like structures are known as the chromosome. Okay, so the chromosomes are the thread-like structures present within this nucleus portion, and the nucleus also contains some dense structural composition, and which is known as the nucleolus. Okay, so in the structure of the nucleus is, in the simplified way, the nucleus consists of a nuclear membrane, which is a porous structure. This nuclear membrane allows the exchange of the material, of the inside material, that is where the nucleoplasm, and the outside material, that is the cytoplasm. So this nuclear pores allows the exchange between the materials of nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. Okay, and in the inner portion of the nucleus we can see a dense portion which is known as the nucleolus, and in the other than nucleolus there are some thread-like structures also present which is known as the chromosomes. Okay, is this clear to you? Okay, so these chromosomes are the hereditary materials, consists of some hereditary materials which are responsible for the transmission of the characteristics from the parental generation to the next generation. Okay, so what are these hereditary materials known as? These hereditary materials are nothing but the smaller portions which are of the chromosomes, which are known as the genes. all of you must have heard this term, that is genes, right? So genes are the smallest unit of these chromosomes which are responsible for the transmission of some characteristics from our parental generation to our next generation, offspring generation. All of you must have some kind of resemblance with your parents, like with your father and mother. Maybe it is in case of the curly hair, must your father also possesses the curly hair, and maybe that characteristics passes to you, and or your brother or sister, or maybe it is in case of eye color, or these are the characteristics which are controlled by the genes. Okay, so genes are nothing but the smallest unit of the chromosomes which are responsible for controlling the characteristics of the body of the and these characteristics which are present in our parental generation, these genes are the hereditary helps in the transmission of this hereditary characteristics from the hereditary materials, which helps in the transmission of the characteristics from our parental generation to the next generation. Is this clear to you? Okay, so now we have another portion of the chapter, that is in case of the plant cell and animal cell. But before that, we will be discussing the nuclear materials presents, the difference of the nuclear material in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now in case of prokaryotes, who are the prokaryotes? The prokaryotes are nothing but the lower order organisms or the unicellular organisms. I have told you that in my previous class that there are some varieties present in case of the number of cells that in the unicellular organisms possesses only one cell, and in case of multicellular organisms they possesses multiple cells, like they are the higher order organisms like us. So the prokaryotes are the lower order organisms present. So the prokaryotes are, who are the prokaryotes? The bacteria. So they, in case of the prokaryotes, the nuclear material is not at all well defined. Okay, so in case of what does that mean that it is not well defined? Because maybe there is the nuclear membrane is not properly formed. Maybe some of the bacteria possesses only the genetic material, that is only the chromosomes, or in case of you must have heard the term DNAs or RNAs. In your higher classes you will have the clear idea about what are the DNAs look like, or what are the structures of the RNAs, but in class 8 you will only have the idea that the DNAs or RNAs are also the genetic materials present within the chromosomes, and these are, in case of bacteria, they are not at all well defined. Okay, the structure of the nucleus is not at all well defined, because the structural complexity increases with in case of multicellular organisms. In us, we have the higher order organisms, we have a clear defined nuclear structures with all the nuclear membrane, the nuclear nucleoplasm, the nucleolus, and the chromosomes. Okay, so is this clear to you? So we will be moving the last portion of the chapter, okay, which is the difference between the animal cell and the plant cell. And another topic which I have missed, that another term, that is the protoplasm. Now what is the protoplasm? So protoplasm is the living component of the cell. We have told you that after discussing the cell structure, you all must have some clear idea about what a cell consists of. So a cell is made up of the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the liquid part, and the nucleus. Right, nucleus, not only nucleus, the cell organelles, like So the cytoplasm is the liquid part and the nucleus and cell organelles are the solid part, right? So the cell is consists of the cytoplasm, which is the liquid part of the cell, and the nucleus and the cell organelles, which are the solid part of the cell. And both with this cytoplasm and the cell organelles, this consists the protoplasm, which is the living component of the cell. So a cell consists of the protoplasm, the protoplasm consists of the cytoplasm and the cell organelles and the nucleus. So with this total structure of the cell, when it is living, it is known as the protoplasm. Okay. Okay, so in case of the last okay, up to this, is this clear to you all? We will be moving to the last portion of the chapter, which is the cell, the difference between the cell structures of the plant and the animal cell. What are the difference between a plant cell and an animal cell? Please reply. I don't know whether there is some kind of chat problem, because I am not receiving any messages. Okay, there must be some problem. Okay, so in case of plant and animal cell, the plant cell possesses, I have told you that the plant cell also possesses an extra outer covering, which is known as the cell wall, right? So cell wall is present in the plant cells only because plants have to reside in the outer harsh environment, and that's why they possesses also an extra outer covering which is unique to them, that is the cell wall. But it is the cell wall is absolutely absent in case of animal cell. So it is the first difference. Okay. Is there some network issue? Is there some network issue? I don't know why the call ended. I seriously have no, I don't have any idea. Okay, so from where should I start? Please respond, anybody, that from where should I start? We were discussing about the difference between the plant. Okay, so we have discussed about the protoplasm structure, or the bacteria or the bacteria possesses only one cell, the prokaryotes. Okay, but in case of higher order organisms, we don't have the much we also have a much cellular complexity, and because of that our cellular organelles are well organized. But in case of prokaryotes, they are not at all well organized. In case of prokaryotes, the nuclear materials or the nuclear membrane may be absent, or the nuclear materials are not properly organized. Okay, so but in case of eukaryotes or in case of higher organisms, all the organelles and the cellular structures and with the nuclear structures, these all are well organized. Okay, so we have also discussed about the protoplasm. Now what is the protoplasm? The protoplasm is the living component of the cell. In case you all must have the idea about the cellular structure now, and the cell consists of the cytoplasm, which is the liquid portion, and the cell organelles, which are the solid portions. So when together the liquid portion, that is the cytoplasm, plus the cell organelles, that compose the protoplasm portion, okay, which is the living portion of the cell. Okay, so now we will be moving to the last portion of the chapter, that is the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. Okay, so in case of the plant cell, it is the cell wall. The cell wall is present in case of only the plant cell, because in case of plant cell, the plants may also must reside in the harsh environmental conditions encountered with the wind speed or the scorching heat of the summer. So that's why they have also provided with an extra outer covering, which is known as the cell wall. But in case of the animal cell, it is totally absent. Okay, so after that, what are the differences, extra differences present between the plant and animal cell? Exactly, the presence of vacuole. Now what is the vacuole? The vacuoles are the large cavities present inside the cell of the plant, and in case of the plant cell, it is larger in size, but in case of animal cells, it is not so large. That is, it is some smaller or small structures and also scattered. Okay. So vacuoles are present in case of the size of the vacuole is large in case of plant, and it is small in case of the animals. Okay. So after that, the last difference or the difference is present in case of the plant cell, that is the presence of the plastid. The plastid is the unique cellular component which is present only in case of the plants, but it is totally absent in case of animals. Okay, so plastids are also consists of the chloroplasts. The green color plastids are known as the chloroplasts. The green color plastids are also responsible for possessing the chlorophylls. That's why we all have must have seen that the colors of the leaves are green in color. Please mute your microphones. Please everybody mute your microphones. Some of you have unmuted your microphones. Please mute. Okay. So in case of the plastids, plastids are the colorful pigments, colorful cell organelles presents in case of plant cells, but it is not present in case of the animal cells, because in case of animals we don't have much colors in our body. Right, so our hands are or our face is not differently colored. Right. So in case of plants, the leaves are green in color, and the chlorophyll resides within the green colored plastids that are known as the chloroplasts. But in other colorful plastids are also present, which are responsible for other colorful portions of the plant cells. Okay. So this is another difference present within the plant cell and the animal cell. Okay. So we have completed our chapter. Please go through the total chapter, because in our next class we will be discussing or we will be summarize the full chapter. Okay, the total chapter, and we will also discuss our question and answer questions given in the last page of your NCERTs. Okay, of this chapter. Okay. Please reply that the total chapter. Would you like the chapter, and is this clear to you, or do you have any doubt? Thank you, everybody. Okay, no problem. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and we all know that the outer condition of our environment is not at all good. So, and please reside within your house, and please, for until our next class, we please stay safe and stay happy and keep reading. Okay. Bye. And please reply as present, because I will be taking your attendance. Okay. Thank you.